Hey all, Hipper here. Today the new Azure Lane Wave 3 is out and I'm going to have a look at the ship first here, unlike me. So I'm actually having Beebley on the new Azure Lane Montpelier ship here because she's my favorite commander. And I'll touch on the new, I won't touch on the new commanders, but I will talk about the new commanders while I play this game here, because I just want to show up the ship here because I think it's the most interesting part of the update actually. I'm a little bit disappointed with the new commanders, the new Azure Lane commanders. I don't really think there's anything fantastically interesting in there. So personally, I wouldn't buy any of them. Perhaps the Italian Littorio, if you are really, really into precision Italian battleships. But I mean, I'm assuming there will be a normal precision commander sooner or later for Italy. So, I mean, unless you're dying to play your Roma with an accuracy build, I would wait. So, I read about this new Cleveland wannabe here coming out, and from what I can tell, it's a little bit more agile than Cleveland, but it has less range and like longer reload. So, in all manner of aspects, I think Cleveland is still superior because I have an agile build on the ship here with Beebley, as you saw before, but this is not an agile cruiser. It's what it can be, but it doesn't really benefit from it. It does its best work with a damage build, absolutely. And honestly, I never run this ship with an agile build, but I thought I would check it out here. Because supposedly this ship is more agile than Cleveland. So I thought, okay, well, let's see how agile it is. And the problem is that even though like this is an agile cruiser, like it's hard to actually play it in an agile way because it doesn't have torpedoes. And it's all about setting fires to battleships anyway, and of course knocking out destroyers. So there's not much point in an agile build. There's also not much point in the new Azure Lane Montpelier commander either. I will go through the commanders in a video tomorrow, I think. Today I'll just focus on this cruiser here because I thought it was the most interesting part of the update, like I said. There's also a tier 6 Yukikaze Azure Lane version with, and hold on here, 2.3 kilometer concealment on the torpedoes. So if you manage to sink a ship with the Azure Lane Yukikaze, I'll buy you a beer because that's, I mean, 2.3 kilometers. That's like pretty much double of even like some of the worst destroyers in the game, and you'd be it's like having permanent sonar on your ship with those torpedoes. So I suppose that ship is a gunboat, but I haven't really looked at it yet because I'll leave the destroyers up to someone else to look at first. This is primarily a cruiser channel, so of course we're going to have a look at the Montpellier here. And like I said, I have an agile build on it, and I just want to see what I can really do in this ship here. And as you can see, like I always say in these ships here, especially Cleveland, I just sit in one spot and start fires. And I'm lucky that this destroyer here popped up some smoke for me. Thank you very much, by the way. Makes my job a lot easier. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say. It's a Cleveland. And like I said, if you have to choose between this and the actual Cleveland, I would still choose the actual Cleveland because it's a little bit more agile, but you get nothing out of an agile build on this ship here. As you can see on the minimap, the destroyer and myself here at B, we are the only ships that you can kind of say are pushing. I mean, I'm not pushing at all, but the destroyer is at least trying to cap B here, and he's doing a really good job. Everybody else is running to the corner of the map. So of course, at this point in time, I can tell that this is going to be a loss unless something like drastically changes. So I'm just going to stick around here and see if I can't back up that destroyer is actually trying, and then we'll just have to see how everybody else goes. But as you can tell, this is not looking good. And this is only my second battle in Montpellier, and it's not a ship I will be playing anymore, I think. It's a Cleveland, and it does Cleveland things, and some players love that. I personally hate that. So it's definitely not a cruiser for me. And like I said before, I don't think the Azur Lane Commander is very interesting either. At least not if you already have Beepley, because like no other US cruiser commander beats Beepley. Hands down, she's absolutely the best. So why you would waste 5,000 doubloons on an inferior cruiser commander when there's so many cruiser commanders for the US? I don't know. It's a bit of a mystery. And it kind of goes for all the Azur Lane commanders in this wave 3 here. And here we have a Paolo popping up, which you'll regret. It's kind of a problem that goes for all the commanders in this update here. I don't think there's anything very interesting. I mean, perhaps the carrier commander, but even then, if you want a speed build on your carrier, you can still do that with other commanders. Azuma is interesting, but like there's not a must-have commander, I believe, unless, like I said before, you can't live without your accuracy, precision, Italian Vittorio commander, and you're happy to pay 5,000 doubloons for her, sure. Well, then she's probably the pick of the bunch. But again, that doesn't really say a lot. See, I always look forward to new commanders in the game because it's what keeps this game alive. You know, new base traits that you can mix and match and create new powerful ships and new powerful builds. The diversity of builds available is what makes this game fun for me, and is what will keep this game something that I'll play in the future. So I guess it's kind of expected that we can't get, you know, awesome commanders all the time. But these are, you know, commanders that cost money. So I was expecting a little bit more. I mean, I think Azuma, I think it's a 2% increase to speed. I mean, that is like, who's gonna pick that, honestly? You might as well put Fraser on and then get 3%. But who am I to judge? Anyway, the commanders are available in the shop, and like I said, I'll probably go through them tomorrow in a video, standalone video on them. But I mean, the TLDR is that there isn't that much interesting to come for there, really, in my opinion. It's a bit of a shame, but like I said, I guess we can't be lucky every time. The ships, like I said, are also a bit of a dud, honestly. I mean, this Montpelier here, I still prefer the Cleveland, although I don't play the Cleveland. And the Yukikaze, the tier 6, yeah, 2.3 concealment on the torpedoes. Even though it was a fantastic gunboat, that would still be pretty hard to overcome, in my opinion. And they're just better destroyers out there, so I can't see why anyone would buy it, honestly. But I guess someone will. So like I said in the beginning, I should probably mention it again, I don't play this type of ship with an agile build normally, but because Montpelier was, you know, kind of shown as the agile version of Cleveland, I thought, okay, let's see what we can get out of it. And it's just not worth the effort. There's no point putting an agile build on the Cleveland class, or pretty much any of the American heavy cruisers except for Wichita. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. And like I said, Beepley is still my favorite commander. I don't see any reason to switch her for anything, honestly. So it's a bit of a dud, this wave 3 here, I think, unfortunately. So as you can see here, we're down to 2 versus 3. That's actually a lot better than I thought we would do in this battle here. So the biggest problem with Cleveland and Montpelier here, it's that if you look at the numbers, well, they seem pretty agile, but when you actually take them out with an agile build and, you know, like make them, you know, twist and turn, they don't feel very agile at all. It's pretty much the opposite of Amalfi, because, I mean, the stats tell you that it shouldn't be as agile as it is. But for some reason, Amalfi turns very, very well. It pivots in a different way. I don't know really how to explain it or describe it. But the opposite is the problem with the Montpelier and Cleveland and Dallas and all those cruisers. They just don't feel agile, although the stats say they are. This ship here has a 2.1 second rudder. That's about the same as Atago, but Atago feels way better in a situation like this, and that's why there's just no point. So here I'm getting attacked by the carrier while I'm trying to avoid showing broadside to the Vanguard, and that kind of trips me over here. I was hoping not to take a torp here, but I actually do, and that pretty much seals my fate here. I'm going to be able to farm this Vanguard a little bit more, but I don't have enough health now to outlast him, because obviously the Vanguard has very nice health or heals as well. So it'll be a bit of a war of attrition here, and I probably should turn in towards the caps again, but this battle here is pretty much done for, so I'm not really too fussed. I just want to see how much damage I can get out of this ship here with an agile build, and then we'll call it a day, and we'll probably never play the ship again. I can only speculate that perhaps this kind of little bit disappointing wave 3 of Azur lane here means that there's something special in store for us in the next update, the March update. I don't know at all, I'm just guessing here. But usually that seems to be the case when there's a bit of disappointing content. That's because Wargaming is making up for it in the next update. So I'm kind of putting a bit of fate in that, because I was looking forward to Azur lane wave 3 a lot, probably more than anyone else, because I love these commanders and I love how they expand on the game, and like I said before, how they make it possible to create more interesting builds than just the cookie cutter reload or accuracy build, which I never run because I want to be different. So he's nearly got me now, this Vanguard here. One more good hit and I am pretty much out of this game here. But it's okay, I've done more than 210,000 damage here, and I mean, this is with an agile build, not a damage focused build at all. So if you pop a damage commander on the ship here, I'm sure you can do just as well as you can do in Cleveland, which means 250 something is within range in a good game like this. Well, a bad game, victory wise, but a good game damage wise. So we'll just skip to the end of the battle here because it's pretty boring. And as you can see, it's Vanguard versus Vanguard. They're about the same amount of health. But for inexplicable reasons, my Vanguard decides to show broadside to the enemy Vanguard, which of course is a, suicidal move. Like I predicted, this game here turned out to be a bit of a dud. But anyway, that was the Azur lane Montpelier for you guys in an agile build here, actually. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you out there.